Ah, the housing market. For what feels like years, we've been waiting for a real sign of life. Well, the very first numbers for 2026 are officially in, and believe me, they've got people talking. So let's break it all down and see if this rebound is actually the real deal.
So, this is the big question, isn't it? After such a long slowdown, could 2026 finally be the year we see some real, sustained growth in home sales? Let's dig into the evidence. The story here actually starts with some genuinely good news. The first few weeks of the year have given us this glimmer of growth, mainly because the whole environment for housing seems to be getting healthier. It's not just one thing either. It's a few key pieces falling into place. For starters, mortgage rates are hovering right around that key 6% mark, which is a huge deal for bringing buyers back. At the same time, there are actually more homes on the market, which gives people more to choose from. And with price growth finally cooling off, we're starting to see a much more balanced, much healthier market. This is the kind of foundation you need for any real growth to happen.
Okay, so a good environment is great, but we need to see the hard data, right? And the data is pointing to what some are calling a double-double. And that is a really powerful early signal. So here's something you gotta understand. You can pretty much ignore the data from the last 2 weeks of any year and the first week of the new one. Why? The holidays. They just make all the numbers noisy and unreliable. This means last week gave us our first clean look at 2026, and boy, was it a big one.
All right, here's the first half of that double-double. We saw a 16% jump in mortgage purchase applications, week over week. That is a really significant increase in just 7 days. And here's the second half, a 13% increase compared to the very same week last year. So when you get strong growth in both of these metrics at the same time, well, that's your double-double. And that's exactly why it's turning heads.
So, why do we care so much about this specific data point? It's because mortgage applications are like a little window into the future. They're not about what happened last month. They show us the pipeline of home sales for the next 1 to 3 months. It's really the best early warning system we have for what the market is about to do.
Okay, so that is the good news. But let's pump the brakes just a little. One great week doesn't mean the market is saved. Now we've got to read the fine print and talk about what it actually takes to call this a trend. I love this quote because it really captures the feeling perfectly. It admits how rare and exciting this data is. It came out swinging. But it also kind of hints that, hey, this is just the first round. We need to see if the momentum can keep up.
And that's the real difference, isn't it? 1 week is a fantastic start. It's a reason for optimism. But a real confirmed trend, that's a totally different animal. That's a meaningful pattern that requires consistency. And for housing data, that means we need to see about 12 to 14 weeks of positive numbers in a row before we can confidently say, okay, the market has turned a corner.
Just to put this into perspective for you, we have 1 week of positive data in the bank. We need at least 12 to call it a real recovery. It's a perfect start, for sure, but it's just the very beginning of a long journey. So here's our scorecard for 2026 so far. We've got 1 positive week-over-week print, we've got 0 negative prints, and we've got 1 week of that powerful double-digit year-over-year growth. So far, so good. We're 1 for 1, but the season is long. And this all brings us to the final and frankly the most important piece of the whole puzzle. All of this optimism, all of this potential, it really just boils down to one single number that's going to decide what happens next. Because as promising as these early signs are, this entire recovery is, well, it's fragile. It's totally dependent on a very specific condition in the market holding true. And this is it, 6%. As long as mortgage rates can stay near or below this level, the conditions for growth are there. But if rates spike up significantly from here, all of this early momentum could just vanish. As quickly as it showed up, it is the linchpin holding this entire potential recovery together. So that's where we stand. We have our first real, tangible sign of life in the housing market in years. But with everything hanging on that one crucial number, the big question remains, just how durable is this rebound really? It's definitely something we'll all be watching.